Hi, it's Therese on Lostinpaper and I'm here with a video for Altenew today using one of their cover dies. So this is the Layered Medallions cover die B, and if you know anything about these dies then you know that you can purchase like two that will interlink or work really well together. But today I'm just going to be using the one die, and I decided it'd be a great idea to make two cards with this one die. Seemed like a great idea at the time, but I don't know. Kind of goes to custard. Anyway, we'll see. I've used the Deep Iris cardstock, which is the same as their ink colour, that beautiful purple colour, and I've actually left the die cut cardstock in place on the die while I add dots, thousands of them, it feels like thousands, to the actual die cut fun foam. Now, if I had been thinking, I would have actually used like, you know, that double-sided tape that you can get, the sheets of tape. I have it here somewhere and I just never think to use it. And if I had done that, this would have been a breeze. Anyway, that's thought number one. So far it's actually going okay. The good thing about using a liquid adhesive here is I have got the ability to move it around slightly if I don't sit it on exactly correct. Tapes don't really give you that option, especially if they're a really strong hold. So as it went, the actual die held together pretty well, and I was just able to stick in a couple of extra pieces there, and then I set it aside to dry. So now that it's dry, this is my big idea. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I've die cut a separate piece of white cardstock, and my thinking was I've got a piece of pale grey cardstock cut to the same size as the cover die itself. And I have done this before with other dies, but not with the fun foam on top, if that makes sense, because I'm using my liquid glue again to add the die cuts that are already on the fun foam into place. And it's about here I work out that this is not going to be really very easy to lift off. So plan B, what I decided to do then was actually add the glue directly to the pieces that I want to stick onto the pale grey cardstock. I thought, yep, this is going to be good. I've sorted it out. And then as I start pushing them out, no, this is where the glue tape would have been better, but I would have had to put it on like the paperback tape, whatever you call it, because as I put it on it would have adhered down. No, this isn't working either. Okay, so I've got some of my pieces stuck down and I just decided to do it the hard way. I actually physically pulled every piece out and adhered it separately. And this is about the point where you're wondering why I didn't do inlaid die cutting. And so was I. I was wondering exactly that same thing about this point. Why I didn't even think of it. I haven't done it for a little while. I think that maybe that was it. But if you're going to make this card, if you can be bothered doing this, if you actually like the finished look of this, die cut the pale grey cardstock, remove the pieces, and then inlay those foam pieces. It would have been much easier. Anyway, so while that's drying, I've stamped out some spring daisies and some leaves, and I used just the jet black ink for that on some white cardstock. And I really like the actual shadow layer that these stamps have in them. It doesn't actually cover the whole image. It kind of gives it a little bit of a washy, fun look. And I did use the limestone grey, which is the palest cool grey, and then the bamboo, which is the palest of the lime greens, just to stamp out these images. I knew that my card bases were both going to be quite intense, so I just wanted it to be a little bit my flowers to be a little bit muted, I suppose. And to keep with that sort of muted tones, I decided to use the darkest of the cool greys. This one's called Pure Graphite, and I use it on the center of both the flowers. And then I did fussy cut all of these images out, leaving a small white border, but I won't show you that, it's a bit boring. if I had the dies. I'm thinking now, why don't I have the dies? I'm going to get the dies. Alright, so the sentiments, I'm doing both of them at once, and I have some jet black cardstock, keeping it very simple now because I'm over adhering and mucking around. I just wanted to get both these cards made and up and running, and I knew that these black, the black cardstock with the white embossed sentiments looks fabulous, as usual. Anyway, so this is from the Painted Greetings set, and I always like the sentiment just because you can actually use it for so many different occasions. I've got top fold cards, and I'm using my Altenew glue tape, and then I can just adhere my panel on top. I did add a lot of adhesive because the die cuts with the foam and the cardstock, it's quite heavy, and I don't want it to peel up at the sides. Not that it will with that much glue on it, but I didn't want to come around and have to fix it after. So I'm doing that for both of them. I did add some matte medium again to the back of the propper, the bit that you're meant to use out of the cover die, which is just gorgeous. I love this funky shape. It's very retro, and I think it'd be awesome. Like, imagine that in hot pink and bright orange. There I go with the hot pink and bright orange again, or black. That would be cool too. My flowers and leaves, I did decide to change them up a bit where I sat them on the card fronts. I've used some fun foam, glue dots, and behind the sentiment I did use some black fun foam, as well as evened it up with the same 1mm foam that I used behind the flowers. And I just sat that straight over top in the middle, and then for my other card I decided to sort of base my flower and everything down in the bottom left corner, just to change it up a little bit. And as a final touch, I did decide to add some, it's called Pitch Black glass glitter, and it's from Prima, and I did use my glossy accents because I know that's got a really strong hold, and this glass glitter is quite heavy, so I didn't want it to go anywhere. After it dried though, I did brush off any excess with a soft brush, and that seemed to work really well. I hope I've inspired you with the Altenew cover dies today. I have had heaps of fun, even though it was hard work, and I could have made it a lot easier on myself. So can't wait to see what you guys can do with these dies. The possibilities really are endless. So till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.